All right. Hello, everyone. This might be kind of confusing to the 7 people that are still subscribed to my channel. This is both a bit of an update and the first entry into a series. I'm going to be working on my game for 1 hour every day, and I'm going to be recording it and uploading it, and it's going to be a series. And I've uploaded some random parts of this already, so it might be a little bit confusing. Like if you want to watch this and try to follow along, I'll try to explain what's happening. It's going to be fairly confusing, especially if you haven't watched the previous parts, or if you jump in like midway. Other than that, I might record some random games, like whatever I'm playing at the time, if I feel like it. Yeah, so that's about it. So right now, my game crashed. There is a crash right when it starts, and I have no idea why. This kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't change any of the code that relates to it, but it's in the serialization code. So right here, it's trying to load from an archive to a file the hotkey map, and the hotkey map is this file right here. Let's take a look at the error it's giving right here. So this one, we can't find this one. Nope, not this one. Here we go. What is this? What even is any of this? So it's some kind of exception, although it's unclear to me what kind of exception this is. This is an X hash. That's very interesting. Let's take a look at these arguments here. This is an unchecked, some kind of list. Key input. Here's the value. Okay, so here's the value. First, right. So this is okay. So this is some kind of okay. So I understand now. This is part of the hashing algorithm that is in the STD library for an unordered hash, or what kind of hash is it? Let's take a look at that. It's an unordered map. So this is the hash that deals with the maps. Okay, and so here first, this is the key, which is this right here, and then the second is a value, which is just a enum. Oh no, it's a name and an enum actually. That's kind of interesting. I didn't realize that. I had a. Let's go back here real quick. Vector. What is this? It's just a vector with an enum. So why here's it saying function name, function enum? This is something else. Huh. Okay, wait a minute. So this is not the hotkey map. I do know that I recorded the name somewhere. Look, here's the names. So wait a minute. Okay, so we need to look. I guess we need to look at the serialization for hotkey, I guess. But I don't think there's much here. Let's just record a name. I mean, it doesn't. Why is there? This is kind of weird, actually.
Maybe. Is it okay if I turn off the light soon?
Sure, baby. Function name, function enum, battle system function.
You're very cute doing this.
Thank you. You're gonna be in the video now. So I only started doing this again recently, so I'm still, you know, a little bit lost in my own code. So this is the value, and this is some kind of iterator. Let's go back to this right here and see what this code actually does, if we can. Copy these. What is this? It just doesn't tell. There's no details at all. It doesn't tell me anything. Try. So there's a try, catch all, re-raise. I don't know what this shit does, man. I don't know what this shit does. Okay, wait. Let's take a look at this again. First, so this is like a key value pair. First is the key, which is the hotkey. That's fine. Doesn't look. Don't see anything weird here. And second is the value function. Where is it? Function name, function enum. I do remember that. I vaguely remember making something like this where it had, where there was like a, look at this. Function name, function enum. It's stored like this. It's stored like this. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go back to hotkey. Take a look at this here. Main key. No, but hotkey is the key, obviously. Where is... Okay, I need to look for the code that serializes the hotkey menu. Let me see here. Not the hotkey menu, but the hotkey map, which is in menu structure. Let me see real quick. No, this isn't it. Menu. Oh, here it is. Menu function. Wait a minute. Go back here. Right. So here you have menu functions. Wait, is this menu structure? Why? This is weird, actually. But this is just an enum. This isn't it. I don't know why there's a menu function here either. Why am I passing a random menu function to this? I'm gonna stop it real quick. And let's open... So this is our menu structure file. Menu default function 0. What is this function for? I don't understand. What is this? Hold on. So, you know, if you program and you write some code and then you don't program for a while, and it's been like 2 years since I've done this, then you kind of forget your own code, and you forget what does what. If set hotkey and menu string is not menu. What? Oh, okay, I understand. But this doesn't need to be serialized. This is just a function that the current menu is executing effectively. I don't think this needs to be serialized at all. Go back here. No, I can't actually just remove this. And I don't know if I should be doing this. Well, I probably shouldn't be doing this right now because the game literally won't even launch. But just have like a little reminder here for me. So I've learned over time that, right, so when you're just programming like shorter things, you're programming small, projects, it's not really that big a deal. You're not really gonna get lost in your own code. You're gonna have everything that you did in your head fairly clearly. But as you get larger and larger projects, and this is a project that I anticipate will take about 10 years, and I've learned that it is a good idea to write your code as clearly and as straightforwardly as possible, even if that means in a lot of cases that means writing more code, making it longer, adding more variables, and also like getting rid of stuff like this, which is like, yeah, it's serialized, you know, and it's not unnecessary, but it doesn't really matter. But like, this is the kind of thing that, you know, confuses you if you don't remember. And yeah, comments are good too. Add lots of comments. But you'll end up rewriting parts of your program over and over again. Now let's find that goddamn function name. I still haven't found where this is serialized, or where the code is that serializes this. Okay, so let's just trace it all through the obvious path here. Let's clap some of this code here. So right here, it's loaded. And here it is saved. So we got battle system hotkey map. The hotkey map is in battle system, and I'm stupid. I don't know why I forgot about that. And I guess there is no code for this. Okay, do you remember which function it was? It was, okay, so the way this works is, this is just a map, and Serial has built-in code for serializing a map, serializing a vector. This is all automatically handled by the thing, and the only code that I wrote for the serialization is hotkey right here. And I don't think this is a problem. It might be like a weird vector thing. Let me see. The function that wasn't working was quit. And there's only one here. And this is where it failed. See anything weird here? buttons held 0. Wait a minute. Do we have buttons held 0 anywhere else? Okay, here it's empty. Yeah, no, I guess a 0 is just, yeah, that shouldn't be a problem, should it? Okay, so let's run it again to get our call stack back. What? Oh, water? Okay, so this time it didn't fail. That's very funny. I don't know what the fuck. This is like the... This is the worst shit, basically. When you just it just crashes a bunch of times and then it just doesn't, and then I don't know. It just works, I guess, and I have no idea why. I really don't. Yeah, I don't know. These are like, these fucking bugs are like nearly unsolvable at this point. Let me see, where does it say anything interesting? No. Okay, well, I guess I fixed it. Hallelujah. Okay, so what I was working on when I encountered this bug was a hotkey issue. First of all, I was working on double click, which seems to not work sometimes. It's like weirdly inconsistent. Like, now it worked. Oh, wait. Okay, now so right now I have I don't know if this is even clearly visible at all. This is text at the top left is it's just some debug feature that I added. When I double click, it should activate, and when I double click again, it should go away. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It's weird. It's very inconsistent. I don't know why. So I've been trying to figure that out. I need to go to... Let's close some of this stuff. Let's go to battle system here. I do believe this should be where it's set, where it's handled. Actually, is this where I want to look? No. Actually, I was working on something else, or on a different part. Is this it? Yes, this is it. So I was looking at the code for irrlicht. I don't know how to pronounce that. To see how they handled the double clicks, and apparently they have their own special system for double clicking. So here I am translating that to my own, because I have my own double tap system implemented here, which I just realized that makes this unnecessary, because any double clicks will be removed before it gets to this point. Right here, if it's left double or left triple, it's set to left single, right double triple, same thing, middle same thing. So it's never going to be double or triple here. And now obviously I need to do the same thing. You know what? I just realized I shouldn't do this here at all. I shouldn't do this somewhere. I should do this somewhere else. How do I catch events anyway? I need to do this in the hotkey creation. Well, let me take a look at this right here. Does hotkey have a... It does have a generic creator and a one based on an event. Okay, so let's take a look at this. We get this hotkey comes from a processing queue. Handle menu function. I don't think this is it. No. Close all this stuff here. Handle event. Here it is. Okay, so this just pushes back the events. Alright, that's event queue. Let's just do this real quick. Okay, we have a process event menu, event queue. So here's our event. Oh, this is taken from the battle system? Why? Wait a minute. This doesn't make any sense. Why does it... Oh, God. This is process menu event queue, but right here, if we're setting a hotkey, it's taking it from the battle system event queue? Or no. It's not taking it from the battle system event queue. But it's running it through the processing of the battle system event queue. Okay. So we have our button states. So I guess this is like generate hotkey based on event. So I think what I want to do is just okay. I guess this doesn't count as a function. I think I just want to change this function here so that it will always be created properly. And you can see here that I already do this. I already have a bunch of code here. So what I think I want to do is remove this here and add it in here, and this will only be for a mouse event. And actually I want to have it, because what was happening before, I think, is that I was translating over here. So this is where we set our hotkey. So right here, I was recording this hotkey and I was transforming it, but then when it was being pressed in the battle system, it would not be the double clicks wouldn't be transformed in the same way, so that wouldn't work. And obviously this isn't gonna work either. We just want to get rid of HK everywhere. Okay. So yeah, that should be good. Let's try that. And look at that. Now it's perfectly consistent. Okay, when you it doesn't actually do the triple press correctly. Do I care about that? What I mean by that is that if you press it 2 times and it comes on, and if you press it 3 times, it will activate and then deactivate again. So on the 3rd press will count as another double press. It doesn't feel right. Because sometimes you want to double tap 2 times in a row really fast. Like, what if you... I don't know, you want to double click a unit to select all units at the same type, but then you misclick, you click the wrong one, and then immediately afterwards you click the other one. So then instead of that counting as a separate double tap, it'll count as like a triple and then a quadruple tap, and it'll not select them. Or it will, maybe. It feels unintuitive, so I think I do want to change that. Okay, apparently now I get a break exception when an access violation when when I close the game. I don't think I care about that though. Symbol's not loaded. That's very annoying. Unable to read memory. Well, we're just gonna ignore that. Okay, so let's go to the code that does the double tapping, which is right here. So we check to see if it's generated twice, right? Let's take a look at this. Also, we filter out other event types, which, by the way, other event types do generate hotkeys, which is kind of weird, but that's why I filter it out here. I'm actually going to comment that right here. Too much noise. Otherwise, this list right here, this vector gets completely filled up with junk. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to check. So we're going through a hotkey queue here. So if the hotkey queue is the same, and it's not, it's already here. Okay, wait a minute. Wait, is this? Okay. So they're the same hotkey, and it's not double tapped. But wait a minute. We said hotkey double tap to true here, but this is, I think this is actually after the hotkey. Why is this giving me an error? What do you mean hotkey is undefined? There's no way hotkey is undefined. Did it change anything? No. This removing of the noise, by the way, is mainly for debugging purposes, because I can display this this hotkey queue on screen, and you can see which buttons are being pressed and stuff, and it's quite useful for debugging. But it's not useful if it's filled with, like, for example, every time you move the mouse, it will generate an event, and you don't want that cluttering up the list, because that will generate a lot of events very quickly. So it already is hotkey Q J, not double tap. But is the hotkey still going to get added here? In other words, would this ever be true? And it's in the hotkey queue. Let me see here. Where is this added? Hotkey queue pushback hotkey, yeah. So this is kind of dumb. Why do I have this double here? This is totally unnecessary. Because the only thing we're adding to the hotkey queue is this. So we don't really need to double. We don't need to check for that here because it's never going to be in the hotkey queue. And yeah, that means we are checking against like mouse movement and stuff, which we do. That really doesn't matter. Okay, so that's a little bit more clear. Oh, look at this! I somehow deleted this right here. That's why I was giving me these errors. Okay. But it does. The hotkey does get added to the hotkey queue after double tap is set to true. So that is working correctly. Let me just try this again. Oops. See, there it didn't go away. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3. Okay, it's gone now. 1 2 3. No, it's 6 4 5 2 3 4. It seems oddly inconsistent. I don't know. Okay, yeah, here's another issue. Oh, this is such a pain in the ass, dude. I have to filter out mouse movement events too. Like, I can't. Yeah, okay. Yeah, fuck off with this shit. So here's another weird issue. And again, it has to do with the way that irrlicht manages its mouse input and stuff. Let me see here. So here's my mouse input event, but here's another weird thing with this this mouse input. There it is. So here we have our button states. Bitmap button stage is button press to determine buttons are currently only valid if mouse is moved. The thing is, this also means that while you're moving the mouse and left clicking, you get a different type of event. So if you're this right here, right? If you're moving the mouse and you're left clicking, you get a left mouse press down event. If you're moving the mouse and if you're not moving it and left clicking, you get this. If you're moving it and you're left clicking, you get this. And then it uses the button states. So I have to translate that as well because I don't want those to be two separate things at all. Let's just in case, let me just test to make sure that this is actually the case. So I'm moving the mouse and I'm left clicking. and it's not disappearing. So it's only showing the hotkey code here, obviously. I kind of have to guess what that means. So we have clicked and released, click. I don't know. Yeah, I see it doesn't seem to work. Okay, so when I'm moving it, sometimes works. When I'm not moving it, it works every time. Okay. Do I want to test that? It's kind of hard to test, actually, but maybe I do. Remember that I filter out mouse move events for double tap purposes, so it's not too spread. Of course, it can only be one of these at the same time, by the way. Or sorry, that it can't. If it's mouse moved, it's not left. It's not like a left click, and those wouldn't match it either anyway. But I think I want to filter out mouse move events, and by filter out I mean I want to translate. Oh, dude, this is a mess. I have to do a bunch of things. I kind of forgot about this, but I think when I originally did this whole hotkey system, I didn't really do the mouse part properly. I kind of just focused on the hotkeys on the keyboard. So the mouse part still needs a lot of work, and that clearly shows. Like, let me see here. Let me find this code. Not draw UI. No. Where's my Right, here we go. Process event queue. So right here, I have my own little bit of code that handles whether or not buttons are pressed down. That handles button states. But this is just for the keyboard. Why did it jump me here? There we go. So this is a vector of booleans. Okay. So we would do something like this. And then instead of this, we do mouse. Let me see here. Does this even exist? This is not even the same. This is not even in the same file. Yeah. I can't even use the enum count, because enum count is going to be different because it has like triple and double click in it and stuff, and mouse moved. So realistically, we have 3 buttons on the mouse, which is left, right, and middle. So we're just gonna do that. Let's close this real quick. I think I want another switch case here for this. Oops. Yes, there's actually an EM. There's a count for this. But obviously the number of events does not correlate to the number of buttons on a mouse, sadly. Also, I have not yet figured out how to be able to use the extra 2 mouse buttons, and I do actually have a mouse with 2 extra buttons. But I'll figure that out later. A button state mask, actually. Actually, this is just a bit mask, isn't it? Hold on a little bit. Let me check something. There's some code here for mouse input. What is this AM? This is a mouse state mask. So it compares the mouse state mask. So I actually can get the extra buttons here as well. How do I know how many buttons there are on a mouse? Do I just assume that like 2 is the normal amount and leave it at, I mean, if irrlicht supports 2, right, then I guess that's what I'm supporting. So let's switch this to 5. I actually want to add a little comment here. Is that obvious? How do I even do this? How do I even do this? Should just make a separate button states. You know what? I think that's actually a great idea. I think that is actually an excellent idea. I'm gonna rename this. We're gonna rename this to be a little bit more clear. This is not button states, this is key states. Because a keyboard has keys and a mouse has buttons. And that just, you know, that kind of stuff, like wording is also quite important for clarity. And this does mean that I have to rewrite a large portion of my... yeah, this means I have to rewrite a bunch of my... of my hotkey code. But, you know what? I think it's better. You know, more code, more writing, more code to be written in the end, but it is clearer. And yeah, you know, that's important for the long-term maintainability of the project. You know, if I have to come back to this at some point for whatever reason, to fix a bug, to add a feature, to change something, it's important that it is as understandable as possible, because at some point, otherwise, the project gets so massive, it gets out of hand, and it gets to a point where bugs become almost unfixable. If you haven't written your code clearly, because you're just going through such an enormous mess of code, you can't memorize everything. Code has to be clear as clear as possible. Anyway, mouse moved. So here we have to use the button states, right? So that would be event.mouse input. It's just gonna be an if, not even if else either. It's just if. So what do we check? How does this work again? Okay, we don't even need the button states. And then we do button states. So left is going to be 0. And actually, we do want mouse. And then we get like something very similar. You know, I could probably do this like a smarter way. You know, since it's a bit mask, I could do some fucking math here and just be like button states, and then, you know, some fucking bit shifting bullshit to get a number out of it, whether it's 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, and you know, make it true or false. This has to be false, by the way. But that'd be way less clear than what I'm doing here. And it's only 5 buttons. What the fuck? What is happening here? It'd be a lot less clear, you know, and you'd be like, what is this math happening here? So we're gonna do it like this. Did I fuck it up again? Why does this keep happening? What? How am I still have it selected? Okay, no, I think actually the code for the other buttons is missing, I believe. Is it? Let's take a look at this. Yeah, so there's one for left, right, and middle, but the other ones are missing. The code for extra 1 and extra 2. Well, I'm just gonna add that myself. Why does it select this? Has it always done this? It hasn't. I'm sure it hasn't. Okay, next case. Left up would be, let's see, 0 is don't forget the break. The break is very important. Now we're just gonna be ready to go for a while. Press down, be true. And I guess double click. I guess double click would count as down, right? And this as well. Yeah. Okay. And this is gonna be a lot of code. Why does it do that? It's very annoying. And then we just change this to right. Easy. And then we do it again with M for middle. Is there any missing here? We got the triple, left, middle, triple, wheel, mouse wheel. We don't care about that. Mouse moved, left up, left down. Did I add? Yeah, up, down, double, triple. Okay. Oh man. Oof. Huge chunk of code right here. Just for this. And this like held button system is already pretty complicated. And I'm gonna have to, what do you think about this? So, okay, so here's the question, right? This system here is for combining several buttons and also holding down buttons. This is not related to left mouse being an issue at all. This is gonna be, how do I fix this? I need to think about this for a little bit. Because if I have these button states here, right? Let's take a look at hotkey. Let's take a look at how I handle this here. Does hotkey also have this list? Buttons held, yes, it has the same vector of buttons. So I need to add the, first of all, I need to add the buttons. I need to add this to hotkey as well. I need to add these button states right here to hotkey. Wait, no, this is different. Also, I think I'm going to rename this as well to keys held. So the issue is, let me think, is that an issue at all? Okay, so what oops. Let's close this, need to open this again. What's in here anyway? Nothing? Let's get rid of this. I think I do want to delete that actually. I'm going to delete this as well. It's just an empty file. We don't need that. So the issue is, okay, so if for example, you set a hotkey to left mouse, right? You left mouse press down, does something. But then you're moving and you click that hotkey, and it, instead of generating this event, it generates a mouse moved event. These will generate different hotkeys. They'll just generate different hotkeys. And they shouldn't. They can't. And this button state thing is not really the same thing as equalizing that. Now I'm trying to think about how do I want to do this. These events, both types of events will generate button states. So this is before it turns into a hotkey. It's still an event at this point. But this is used. This button state data is used to generate. Is going to be part of the hotkey eventually. Okay, so here's a weird question, right? If when you're moving the mouse, it's gonna generate a mouse moved event. So say I'm holding down left click, I'm moving the mouse. It's gonna generate a bunch of moved mouse events, and all of them left will be pressed. So how can I tell the difference between actually the actual click, like actually pressing it down, and holding it if these events aren't generated properly? It's actually a giant pain in the ass now that I think about it. I don't even know how to do this. Let me take a look at this real quick. Left mouse was pressed down. Let me. I'm gonna set up a little breakpoint here. Right here, left mouse press down. Let's do a little test here. I want to see if it actually does this properly or not. If I'm actually right about this. I should test this. Because now that I think about it, if it really doesn't... What is this shit? What is this shit? Keys held, of course. Fuck. So when you change the name of a variable, in a function, in like a class or something, such as right here in hotkey, I changed the name of buttons held to keys held. Then it changes the name to in the way it gets serialized. Right here. And then your archive doesn't work anymore, so you just have to change that as well. Always forget that. Oh, what is it now? Ignore buttons held. I'm assuming this is in hotkey as well. Did I change that? Oh, wait a minute. Ignore keys held. Wait a minute. Oh shit, wait. Fuck. Oh, Jesus. Okay. First of all, this needs to be changed. Like that. Only 12? Shouldn't there be 24? And then I wanna change this in hotkey as well, because that's a more apt name too. Get the shit out of here. Stop. Okay, whatever. I'll fix this later. I was testing something. Seems to be triggering every time. Let's put a let's put this right there. I'm not sure about this. It seems to be triggering the double tap. Just it seems to be triggering the left mouse press down event just fine. Maybe it's only a double tap thing. I don't know. I'll research more tomorrow. I wasn't planning on doing that much editing, but looking at it now, I think I will actually. There's lots of just nothing, so I'll probably edit a lot of it out. A lot of random bullshit too. Probably for the best. So it would be like an hour long. Is gonna be like 10 minutes maybe. Yeah. I will try to make it not be completely confusing, but I have a feeling that is not likely to be even remotely successful at all, but we'll see.